Hello and welcome to a very different type of vlog. I've never done this before where I do a dedicated vlog just for the experience of reading one book, but we're gonna do it. I am probably gonna have to edit in some more sort of disclaimers and stuff if I forget things, because I probably will. So as you can see in this vlog, we will be reading Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. This is going to be a full spoiler review. I'm pretty much going to tell you everything that happens in this book. Not everything, it's thick, but I want to explain some of the stuff that I want to know about. So going into this, actually, right, let's start with another disclaimer. I'm not going to put the 18 plus thing on this video, but please do consider whether or not you should be watching this if you are one of my younger subscribers. This book has brought grown adults to their knees. Well, it hasn't, but you get what I'm saying. And I would hate to be the person that exposed someone quite a lot younger to the content in this book if it's not appropriate for them. I always tag my videos as not appropriate for children, but I'm not going to stick the 18 plus thing on it. But I will be giving graphic descriptions of what's happening in this. So please just do go in with that in mind if you're going to be watching this. Also, even if you are one of my loyal subscribers for my vlogs, please do not feel like you have to watch this if you are not interested in watching this vlog. This is going to be quite something. A lot of people said they're never going to touch this book, and I just want to read it. I want to find out what the knife scene's about. I have heard that there is quite a lot about anal. I'm already cringing, and I'm going to be giving graphic descriptions of this book. So I kind of need to get over myself and just be completely adult about it, but I'm so immature that this is going to be quite something. I will just say, let's actually look at the book. And I love this cover. I wanted this book for the cover before I knew what it was about. And my opinions going in are that I actually think I'm going to enjoy it, and that the content in it is going to be graphic and maybe slightly horrific in places, but I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. I'm in a slight reading slump right now because I told myself I could read this book after I finish my whole TBR, and I just have no pull to read my TBR now. I want to read this. Let's give you the synopsis. Okay. It says, Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo and Diesel, the Vipers. They run this town and everyone in it. Their deals are as sordid as their business, and their reputation is enough to bring a grown man to his knees, forcing him to beg for mercy. They are not people you mess with, yet my dad did. The old man ran up a debt with them and then sold me to cover his losses. Yes, sold me. They own me now. I'm theirs in every sense of the word, but I've never been meek and compliant. These men, they look at me with longing. Their scarred, blood-stained hands hold me tight. They want everything I am, everything I have to give, and won't stop until they get just that. They can own my body, but they will never have my heart. The Vipers, I'm going to make them regret the day they took me. This girl, she bites too. That's all I'm going in knowing, and I know that there is something to do with a knife, because that has been spoiled for me. I guess I need to stop putting it off and just dive right in. Before I do though, I really do want to completely say that this is going to be graphic. This is going to be in detail. I will potentially read out some of the smut at points. I already don't know how comfortable I am doing that. I guess it's different when I'm just talking to my camera. I will never be watching this vlog back because I don't want to see myself talk about things. I think the thing that spurred this on was that I was in the comments of a live show and somebody said I was too innocent to read smut in their head. And I've never put that personality out on purpose, because I think a lot of my friends would really disagree. So it was a bit of an eye-opener for me that that's how I came across the internet, and I don't exactly mind that, but I don't want people to think that I'm never going to read smut, because I do read quite a lot and I do enjoy reading it. That's why I think I'm kind of going to like this. Also, if you are related to me and watching this vlog, please stop. I am going to try to not link anything to personal experience. Knowing me, I am an oversharer. It may happen. And there is no way, or if I work with you, stop, please stop, because you do not need this content. But without further ado, I'm gonna get reading. Okay, I've read one chapter, which is 3 pages. I have thoughts. what I'm gonna do, I'm basically gonna reread the page and get my notebook and write down which Viper is which, what they're known for, and talk you through it, because I don't know what I've just read. I do know what I've just read and I'm disturbed, but just one sec. I have no idea whether you can actually see this, but we're gonna just put the Vipers. I'm trying to write half decently. So we've got Ryder, always wears a suit. Kenzo, Garrett. Okay, so who is narrating? So whoever's narrating says, it's been a whole 2 days since I got to kill someone. Diesel is the other one. So at this point, killed 2 days ago. So right now they're all interrogating, threatening this guy Rob, and they are going to take his daughter. It says, he knows what I am, death. Ryder is the face. We'll just write it. The face, I'm assuming because he always wears a suit. Garrett is the enforcer. Oh, / muscle. Kenzo is the dealer. And it says, this is the one thing, I don't swear, so we're not going to swear, but he is apparently the Grim Reaper. So now Rob has agreed to sell his daughter, and Diesel says, I wonder if she'll cry. It makes it sweeter when they do. I realise then I'm rubbing my cock through my jeans, and Kenzo is glaring at me, so I stop with a wink. Don't do that in front of your siblings. Diesel wants blood. So Ryder, the suit, the face, will do what we want to her. I can't say it out loud. I'll just say, up her, torture her, beat her, kill her. I just want you to know that. I laugh harder as Garrett releases Rob's neck, tapping his cheek with the blade, all friendly like. Me, I get in the man's face again, wanting him to look into the eyes of the man who's going to wreck his daughter. When I'm done with her, there won't even be enough to bury. I'm going to make her scream. I might even record it for you. Leaning forward, I press my lips near the man's ear. I'll let you know if she comes before or after I slice her neck, I whisper, before lunging forward and biting off his earlobe. So what have I learned? Diesel the freak. So far. They all seem to be pretty freaky, but Diesel killed 2 days ago, wants to kill again, has bitten off an ear and started rubbing himself over his jeans in front of his brothers at the thought of killing a man. See, this is page 4. I feel like I'm going to need to do less updates. Let me try and get to at least chapter 6 before I talk to you again. I'm going to eat pizza as well so that I don't feel like I have to. I will keep up with my notes. I will do notes in different colours depending on when I spoke to you. Not that you need this info. Okay, so we're on page 37. Should probably not have as many thoughts as I do right now. First thought is that these characters mirror the original brothers from the originals, the Vampire Diaries spin-off. Particularly Diesel is Klaus and Ryder is Elijah. Just if you're interested. Feels like they were based loosely on the original brothers. And I guess, what's her face? Roxy does have some characteristics of Rebecca. Roxy, about her, she has said herself that she has a daddy complex, and she likes pain at the hands of a hunk. Fine. Then I've tabbed some things just to tell you about them. First of all, Diesel has got a guy in the basement, in the secret basement, and he says, I lean against the wall watching as he bends down and lights a cigarette before going back to burning the man's balls who he strung up. So that's pleasant. What's happened next? Oh, also Diesel, bit of a freak. That's Diesel. He nods to the blonde who's licking the flames from a lighter. Okay, last comment. This one really made me laugh. So they've gone to collect Roxy from the bar that she owns, and she's really holding her own. She's putting up a fight. It says, oh no, she punches him in the head. I react without thinking, yanking back my fist and punching him in the face. Blah, blah, blah. Lifting his head, he grins, his teeth covered in blood. That was hot. Want to do it again? Diesel sighs but winks as he backs away. Only then do I notice the bulge in the front of his jeans. Is he erect? I'm going to get back to reading. This is already a fun time. Okay, we're now on page 81. I'm going to update you with some thoughts and then I'm going to curl up in bed and carry on reading. Obviously, I'm kind of learning how to do this vlog while I read a book thing. It doesn't help that this book is like really difficult to actually hold and read. I'm also in a Discord call with Cole. I'm making my notes. I'm trying to tab things to talk to you about. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go lie in bed with my notebook and scribble down a couple things. I don't think I'm going to be as precise now going forward. But I do have a few more things to update you on. So back to my originals theory. Ryder is Elijah, Kenzo is Cole, Garrett is Finn, and Diesel is Klaus. Oh, also on that, Kenzo is described as a charming psychopath, which I think fits Cole's character. And Finn is the nice guy, but no one's really sure what's happened to him. I do need to know what happened to Garrett, because there's an incident where Roxy is in his room and he just basically goes to kill her. And Ryder steps in and he's like, it's not her, it's Roxanne. And I'm like, who ruined you? Who ruined you? On Roxanne, I don't think I'm going to be amazing at trigger warnings for this. I will try my best. There is an incident where she has just arrived in the apartment building kind of thing, wherever they are. She's in their home, I'll say. And she wants to wreck the place and she doesn't really know what to do it. So I won't describe it in full detail, but it involves the smashing of a mirror and then, from how it read, some very intense self-harm, but it read as not a self-harm, as like a just destruction of the room kind of thing. But I was cringing as I read it. It was handled weirdly. There is a very descriptive scene of how she was beaten, as like physically beaten, as a child by her dad. So that is also very horrific to read. But let's just completely change the mood. Let's go to Diesel's perspective, something I've tabbed here. What happened here? Laughing, I leap at her. She lets out a scream that goes right to my already hard cock as I pin her hands above her, pressing my lower body to hers to keep her there, letting her feel how hard I am. Skip a bit and then she might not survive it, but I will have her, okay? And I thought breaking her, killing her would be fun, but this, smashing those barriers until she comes while I torture her, that would be sweeter. Oh, and then, I don't know why I'm showing you the page, she's cut her hand open with this whole glass incident and Diesel is pressing his thumb into her hand as she's laying on the floor and like digging it in, and oh, I wanted to be sick, the thought of the pain. What have I done here? Oh, and then we have a full scene of Garrett. I'm kind of torn between Ryder and Garrett for my favourites. We have a very, very long scene of him masturbating in the shower. I mean, I don't think I've ever read something like that, I won't lie. And I was like, oh, okay. So weird. But yeah, we're only 80 pages. So I think I'm only going to try and get to like 100, maybe slightly more. I'll try and make some notes and sort of summarise the next time I talk to you. Hello, it is the next morning and I cannot concentrate on work without updating the vlog. So I was making some notes before I went to sleep. The one serious question is the setting. Where is this set? I know I should know because I'm the one reading it. I thought it was like New York or like a big city. They mentioned the South Side at some point, but then they use the words sofa, rugby, wanker, all very English things. So I don't know where this is supposed to be set. Look, literally, we have a time. There's only one thing where I'm going to read you a passage, but I just want to explain some of the things that happens. Where Roxy starts talking to her vagina, telling it off for being turned on by these men. Like, she's genuinely talking to it. I mean, then she does more than talk to it, but she's talking to it. Ryder says that she needs to dress a bit better to represent the family, so he does buy her a full new wardrobe of clothes that do actually suit her style, but they're not just like cheap. So she needs to dress better to represent the family. She says, want me to take my piercings out as well? Not good enough for your sanctimonious ass to rape. That was quite something. Then she tells him and the rest of the brothers that she has piercings that are more difficult to remove. So she has a little bit of a flirt. Actually, on that note, so she has her clit pierced, right? Like, I don't think it's actually that unusual. I think that is not common, but it's not as unusual as we all probably think it is. My issue with how it's talked about in this book is that she doesn't just own it. She's like, yeah, it was a dare, and like it hurt, but like it wasn't, I didn't cheat, it was a dare. Like I wouldn't actually want that just for myself. And that's what really bothered me about it. I'm like, just own it. You've done it, own it. Be like, yeah, I wanted that, so I did it. Don't make it a somebody else told me to get it kind of thing. Own it. She then basically escapes. She gets to the garage, all the cars. She isn't successful though. She smashes up a car, which turns out to be Ryder's, and he's then like, all bets are off. Diesel can play with you. So I was like, right, she's gonna die. I knew she wasn't gonna die. We've got a while, but she's gonna die. Then Diesel's got this guy in the garage. Not the garage, like his den, which is like the basement. And he's all being tortured. And then Roxy decides to join in. So she finds out that this guy raped his stepdaughter. Isn't the reason why he's there, but she finds out that happened. And she's like, yeah. She starts joining in, saying that they're going to kill him. And she gives Diesel, she turns around, she's like then in charge of this situation. And she gives Diesel the go-ahead to just kill him. So that was great, and Diesel got a bit too excited about that. Then she starts snogging Diesel. Kind of sad that he was the first one who got an actual kiss. Sad. Okay, now we've got, I tell a lie, we have 2 chunks I can tell you about. First of all, page 114, she starts masturbating. So this is the second type of us reading of somebody getting it on with themselves so far. I can't even read this out. I'll just use the phrase, dipping my finger in my cream. Okay. I dip my fingers inside my channel. Sometimes I just really query the words that they use. Channel. Oh, and then she says she's knackered, so we're back to English. This whole scene, she's talking about how she kind of wants them all there at once, so I feel like that's going to be something that happens. Let's just read it. Gasping, I rock into my fingers, imagining Ryder's dark eyes as he watches me from the end of the bed, visualising Diesel's lips crushing mine as he takes what he wants, me. Garrett is there too, prowling around the bed, observing me for once. Kenzo's finger trails teasingly up my thigh, so she's imagining them all there. I feel like it's going to happen. Then we have a comment about grey sweatpants and how they are made to please women. They are. Cole once wasn't aware. He knows now. He didn't get the hype, so he was walking around my house in grey sweatpants and I was like making a comment and he didn't get it. Now if he's in grey sweatpants and he walks up to the webcam on his... I'm going to stop talking. He now knows what I say I'm looking at. Okay, if you don't know, Google men in grey sweatpants. You will not be disappointed. Then we have the... Oh my God, how have I forgotten about this moment? I stopped making notes at one point. So they're playing cups, which I didn't know what it was called. It's that game where you get the... I can picture Americans doing it with the red Solo cups. But when you down the drink in the cup and then you have to flip it. I've seen it in movies, never seen it actually happen. But they're playing that. And the bet is she's home alone with Kenzo. And Kenzo says if she wins, she's free. If she doesn't win, she's having sex with him. So they're playing it. I down it and flip it, but we're neck and neck. On the last cup, our eyes lock as we chug it. Then he yanks down his trousers, flashing me his cock. I actually choke on my beer. And it gives him the time he needs to flip it, so he wins. But I can just seriously imagine someone being like, way, and winning. I don't know. I found that funny. And then, so we get the first sex scene. The first Viper she sleeps with is Kenzo. I don't know how I feel about it. In the nicest words, it comes across as very, very rapey. She doesn't have a choice in the matter at all. So that is the whole point of this book. So I don't know, but then the author did something that I'm not sure made it any better, that said, I slide along the floor with a scream of anger, yet not once do I say no because I want this. I don't know whether that helps us, really, because you don't want this. You've been abducted, and all of this whole scene is her fighting, punching him in the face, running away, and him chasing her and pulling her back. I don't know. I'm not fully happy with the way it's told, and I'm not sure whether I like the inclusion of yet not once do I say no. Like, is that supposed to help us be okay with this? or confuse us. I don't know. Like, literally, admit you like it, he growls. Wanker, I snap. His hand comes down on my ass again and again. Pain radiates through me. I mean, he does call her a good girl at one point, which can be used well. Kind of was in this situation. I can't even find more. It's not disgusting here. It's just a very aggressive sex scene. So we're going to leave it at that. I now have to go back to work and not think about this until I clock off for the day. So that's fantastic. Okay, so I waited until work finished, which felt like it was far too long today, because as soon as it finished, I've read some more of Den of Vipers. I'm on page 178 right now, and I have more notes, so I thought I'd share them with you. I am not joking. I'm absolutely loving this. Like, I can't get the smile off my face. So the first thing that's happened in this big chunk of pages is we've had some massive character developments. Diesel is still absolutely crazy, but him and Roxy now have a really weird, strong bond. So he like gets in bed and cuddles her, which is wrong because like she didn't invite him in the room, but he just snuggles on in and then she doesn't tell him to go away, so he stays. And then however messed up the whole situation is, they then have a really big conversation about consent. And even though we've still got like a kidnapping, kind of like a Stockholm syndrome thing going on, I kind of liked that conversation in there. It was cool. I didn't think that would feature at all. So even if it's not a perfect situation, you know, like we're all at the age where we know what consent is. So just having that little snippet, I did really appreciate. So Roxy sort of accepted her place within the Vipers now. She's helping them find out information on like a hitman that tried to get them. She's using all of her ties with her bar, all the sketchy people she knows, and yeah, she's just getting involved really. And then they're in an alley. There's another group of guys who've tried to come and kill them, and Garrett, he's the main like bodyguard kind of character. He misses this one guy and Roxy grabs a gun from him and shoots the guy between the eyes, and I was like, she is tougher than we all thought. One thing I actually found like quite surprising is that they're keeping her bar open and putting all of the earnings into her bank account. I thought that was cool. Don't know. Makes me feel positive that she's going to be able to go back to it one day. There was one quote from her that I really, really liked. Lost it now. She's talking about how did she actually cut some guy's dick off, or well, last month I saw her almost cut someone's dick off with a piece of broken glass that he threw at her when she broke his heart. So this is Roxy running her bar, nearly cutting a guy's penis off. So her defense in this situation is, he was rude, plus that was one time. Okay, maybe more than once. But honestly, people with dicks always think that they know best and can act like they own you. I remind them that vaginas are stronger than dicks, as ours are inside and yours hang out, ready to be chopped off. And I'm like, all right. The one thing that has just got me a bit flushed is they're all sat in a restaurant, like a kind of diner situation. They're in a sort of private area, but it's just screened off. It's not a separate room. Kenzo cuts her underwear off with a knife. I really hope that's not the knife scene. And starts... I don't have a word. He's fingering her at the table, basically, in a booth with all the brothers sat around. It starts off with, so Kenzo's doing it. Garrett just looks really like out of place, but he's really into it at the same time. Ryder is like blazing fury because he wants her, but he can't right now. Diesel's gone to the toilet. He comes back and he's like, wow, this is great. He actually gets his penis out. I'm trying not to just like keep laughing. He gets it out and is enjoying the show with this advert. What was that? But then we find out his is tattooed and pierced. Like, my rib tattoo really hurt. I can imagine that a dick tattoo really hurts. Surely that's the weirdest feeling in the world. I don't know. Anyway, that's where we've got up to right now, is we found out that Diesel has a tattooed penis. And he got it out in a restaurant while she was riding on Kenzo. Or Kenzo's hand. feel like this is just going to get more graphic as we go because I want to tell you all about it, and I forget that I'm going to put this on the internet. It's just so graphic and I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of enjoying my time. This is so much fun. Okay, we're still sat in the same place. Dinner break, leftover meal deal sandwiches. I don't even ask. This book. Right, so there is some very graphic torture at some point that we've just come past, where again the Vipers have taken on a whole squad of hitmen who were set on them, so they've just gone to their place and massacred 20 of them, and the leader's body is chopped up into bits by Ryder, not Diesel. Who knew? And then as they get back, they've left Roxy at home for this. They get back and Roxy's playing poker with a few of the security guards, one of which thinks she's cheating and has like grabbed her and saying she's a cheat and like being a bit rough with her. So Ryder goes over, breaks his hands with a hammer, cuts his tongue out and says, "You dare insult our princess." Then, I mean, this is only sex scene number 2 that we get now. We're 200 pages in, but that might be best written sex scenes I've ever read. That pure smut. So it's Ryder and Roxy. Ryder knows on the inside that he's falling in love with Roxy, but like there's nothing he can do about it. So, you know, to show his love to start with, he bends her over and bouts her several times. Of course. It's just normal. You know, with now it's time for your punishment. So she gets bouted for a bit. Then I've just written down page 199. What really happens? Okay, this is Roxy speaking. "You want to control my every action because it means you can distance yourself from it. Well, fuck that. If I have to be your goddamn slave, you don't get to act the aloof asshole. You want to fuck me? Then fuck me. None of these games, none of the defenses to keep me away from you. Make it hurt, make it good. I don't care, but stop trying to be this cold motherfucker when I can see how badly you want this. Want me." She is really holding her own against these guys. And I didn't realise that sex scene was only like 5 pages long, but Jesus, it felt like it went on for a while. He bites her boobs and leaves actual teeth marks. That bit goes a bit, I mean, not that all the actual torture of people isn't too far. Like that would, ow. I think he wants to whip her next time. He said that. But then he takes her into his room, his bedroom, and gives her a cuddle. And that's where I've left off. We're cuddling. So I'm gonna eat my sandwiches, eat my dinner, and stay here until Cole calls me and says it's time to watch anime because I just want to keep reading. I actually feel like I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. I think this is gonna be a 3-day thing because I'm into it. I will try and move next time as well so you don't get exactly the same angle again of my wardrobe door. I thought I'd just sit here while I ate my sandwich and just say some of the things that I read and want to share rather than write them down. Even though I'm gonna have to say the P word I don't like, but that's fine. I nod and he steps back before pulling his shirt over his head and tossing it at me. I catch it automatically, even though I drool at his chest. The scars make me wiggle uncomfortably as my pussy pulses. He's a goddamn machine and his torso is carved for girls' wet dreams. My pussy basically starts a Garrett fan club then. Pom-poms and all. So Garrett...
Something went wrong.
Pause. So Garrett's a bit more of a mystery. He doesn't really want to look at Roxy and he just gets really angry all the time. So Roxy's saying to him, "You want this too, you want me. So why not just give in?" This is only 10 pages since she slept with Ryder, just to put that out there. And this time she's not being propositioned, she is doing the propositioning. And he says, "What makes you think I want you when I can't even stand to look at you, when I hate you? Tell me, tell me, baby, what makes you think you're so fucking special that I would fuck you or let you touch me?" The one thing I will question though is we've now seen all 4 of these boys naked. Why do they all have massive penises? Surely one of them, there has to have been some sort of comment about one being smaller than the other. But no, they're all just long and thick. So thanks for those descriptions. I'm sure I've just gifted you those. And here we go. Time for a forced blowjob. Would just cause gagging. Very impractical. But apparently it's happening. It's not polite. Not that I would expect that from him. Well then. Okay, we just got to the issue that I was intrigued to see what would happen. I'm sure this will change through the book. But Kenzo is now talking to Ryder about the fact they both like Roxy. And Kenzo says, admit it, Rye, you like her too. It's cool. I don't mind sharing, but I'm not crossing swords with you. And it took me so long to work out what he meant. But I was wondering what would happen if she propositioned more than one of them at a time. I feel like that's going to be happening. We'll see. That's our first mention of it, though. I'm going to have to try and stop with the updates because the editing is going to be awful. But I'm sort of enjoying it doing this by just jumping in when I read something funny. So Ryder and Kenzo have gone shopping together to get some things, girly things, for Roxy. And Ryder wants to go on his phone instead. And Kenzo says, oh, no, you don't. You stuck your dick in her too, so you have to buy her nice things to make up for your shitty attitude. Cool with it? Okay, I know, I kind of like Garrett because he calls her baby. That's the only reason why. He says, that's the problem, baby. Don't you see that? I don't hate you. I care about you way too much, and the last person I did hurt you, I finish. Okay, so we'll take this one step at a time. I'm not asking for marriage. Well, we're at double chin angle here, but it was too funny. I'm now slightly worried about myself because I'm reading this scene and I'm not reacting at all. And then I was getting towards the end and was like, oh, I should probably be reacting to this. Diesel is torturing a man for information, the hitman, that came to get them. And he's made a contraption, let's say, that he puts on this guy's penis and it slowly clamps around it. I don't actually know what it's done on the inside, but he takes it off. Wincing for him when I see the bloody cut up mess. Don't know what it did, but it did something. But yeah, Roxy has gone down to the torture dungeon with him. She's just chilling. She's rubbing him through his trousers a little bit. And he's saying that he wants to... Where is it? She says, does hurting people get you hard? Turning, I grab her hand and press it to my cock. What do you think? She sucks in a breath. Would you like to hurt me? Yes, I admit without shame. I want to carve up your skin, watch the blood drip as I pound into you. I'm just going to see where this sex scene goes and I'll update you after. I think this is going to be the knife scene. He says, would you still come so prettily with my knife in your skin and my cock in your pussy? She moans, her hand reaching back and circling my head, dragging me closer as she rocks on the toolbox. I think this is the knife scene. I think this is the knife scene, so I'm going to record my reaction. Okay, so he just pulled on her belly button piercing. Like, that wouldn't be nice. I cannot see any way that, like, that would... I mean, the skin just dies, so I can pull mine quite far and not even feel it. And I've only had it, God, 7 years? No. Yeah. But it kind of loses feeling, so I don't think she's looked into the accuracy of that one. Rolling my eyes up, I flick my tongue across her belly jewel and her head falls forward. That wouldn't cause a reaction, I don't think. I mean, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't see how that would be nice. It doesn't really have any feeling. I slash out quickly with the knife, drawing 2 thin cuts across the crest of her breasts. No thanks. Mention of anal. It's gonna happen. Who knows? I would die happily with my face buried in her pussy, tasting her on my tongue. I would die happily. that was the knife scene. I'm sort of disappointed. I don't know what I am. But basically, what's happened is he's killed a man down in this dungeon. It's in dungeon, his little den. And he did it by slashing the guy's throat with a knife. He did disinfect the knife, that was described. And he's been like messing with it. But then he, in his narrative, slams it inside of her handle of course. She screams with both pain and pleasure, and I chuckle before twisting the handle, the ripped grip of it making her hips jerk forward as she tries to take more. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I feel so underwhelmed. Grabbing a wooden pole I sometimes use to bind their arms, I trail it between her breasts. You want punishment, you've got it. I bring the stick down on her back in quick succession, repeatedly. She writhes and screams. What is their fascination with marking her skin? I don't get it. She's surely covered in marks now. She's now encouraging, being like, I can handle anything. You just killed a man. Calm down. Now she gets the flames. Are these the flames tattooed onto his penis or an actual flame? Because if it's an actual flame, I'm scared. Okay, it's the ones on his penis. But it does say making sure to cut off her air supply because he's like choking her. Be careful, kids. People accidentally die from that all the time. I heard it in a documentary. He's just sliced her. I sliced between her breasts down the valley and feel the blood flowing from the cut. Rubbing my hand in it, I press into the cut and make her scream in pain. Chuckling breathlessly, I trace that blood-covered hand down her stomach to her pussy and flick her pierced clit until she's back on that precipice. What time do you use the word precipice? I think it's going in a pot. I don't like this sentence. It's just asking if anything's ever been in the back doors. And then he says, did you enjoy it? I ask. Genuinely curious, not that it will change what I'm about to do. Not a fan of that sentence. She does say yes though. Maybe this is the knife thing and people don't like. Well, I mean, none of it's nice, but... Oh no. Grabbing my phone, I take a quick picture and send it to the guys, letting them know what they're missing before tossing it away and taking our hips. No. As if that's my main problem, is that he's taken a photo and sent it to the other vipers. Oh. With a roar, I slam back inside her, impaling myself on the knife. It slices through my skin and it's a good job I know where to cut so it's not fatal, but it hurts like a son of a bitch. The pain soars through me, meeting the flames in my stomach and balls. I take it out on her, fucking her harder, faster, the knife slicing in and out of my body as she screams. Blood drips down from the wound and into our joined bodies, making the passage even slicker. Oh, it's still good. Oh. Okay, he's moved the knife now because he didn't have room. He needs stitches. You're gonna have to stitch me. What? She moans, barely able to talk. Once we're done, stitch me or I might die. Oh, he just used the C word I don't like. I don't like that word. Oh, he's yanking on the other piercing. Oh dear. Little bird, I knew you'd be the one. You will never escape us now. You're mine forever. Bound tighter than any ring or marriage ever could. You try to leave and I will hunt you down. She grins and I lean next to her with a groan. Hello, quick update before I start work today on how I'm feeling about Den of Vipers, because I did read a little bit more before I went to sleep last night. We've only shuffled two next to my bed just because I know if I get back in I'm not moving, so apologies, I've not done my hair, I'm not ready for the day or anything yet. I just wanted to give you an update. So I keep feeling like I need to show you the book. We know what book we're talking about. There was one point where Roxy did reinforce that everything that happened with Diesel was consensual. I don't know if she knows about the photo yet, but there's a big thing about how it was consensual. And I mean, there was one thing I did actually want to say, because I didn't think about how I was saying it, with the whole knife thing, right? Because I checked a couple of Goodreads reviews and a lot of people were more concerned about the fact it was in her butt than the fact that he used it to stab himself, and then they were like mixing blood, which is where I go, ugh. And I mean, the knife had been used to kill someone first. Yes, I do understand that is horrible. But I'm not trying to shame anyone for the parts of this story that are probably quite normal. Again, not the fact it's a knife, not the fact someone had killed something. But the problem for me is not the fact it was in her butt. The problem for me is the fact that there was blood mixing between them, which makes me feel sick. And probably isn't safe. I don't actually know. But that's probably not cool to do. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking about it because I read a couple of Goodreads reviews and it started making me think that I picked up on the wrong problems. But I don't know. Again, I don't even want to say the words because then that gives you the answer. But like, I'm not throwing personal experience into this at all. But that wasn't the issue here. After all that's gone down with Diesel though, moving on, Kenzo runs a bubble bath for her and then like gets in and holds her and washes her and dries her and gives her a quick cuddle and lets her nap. And I'm like, why am I in love here? Why am I in love with this situation now? It's messed up. But Garrett, I'm falling more and more out of love. Like, I wasn't quite sure what I thought of him, and now he's just grinding my gears in every way. So he buys her a gun, tells her he's going to teach her how to shoot, even though she saved the day and shot a guy between the eyes. But like, you know, a man has to teach her how to shoot. He's definitely Millie's favourite character. And they've got this little truce going on, so they don't hate each other. But then he's like, well, you're not part of the family just because you open your legs. And I'm like, not Diesel, Garrett. Who put like salt on your Cheerios this morning? Like, calm down, okay? And then we have another sex scene with Ryder, which was very good. But the one thing I can't get my head around, we're back to all of them knowing what the other ones are up to. His phone rings and Garrett's calling, so he answers the phone while he's inside of her, continues laughing. I put it on speaker and lay it on her back as I drive into her. Little breathy moans escape her lips as she tries to stay quiet. Roxy, Garrett asks, and then I hear a yelp and another voice. No doubt we're on speaker now, even better. Little bird, what mischief are you up to? Diesel questions. Grunting, I bite into my fist to stay quiet, but I shouldn't have cared, because with one last thrust, one flick of my finger, she comes with a scream, her body writhing beneath me, her pussy clenching so tight. I can't help but come myself. I spill into her, and I still, panting and containing my own yowl. So he puts her on speaker. The phone is quiet for a moment until a laugh comes through. Oh, I see what mischief. Did you come for him like a good little bird? Garrett groans. Did you actually just put us on speaker so we could hear her scream? Yeah, he did. For some reason, I'm fine with this all happening with 4 brothers. I mean, only 2 of them are actually brothers. We've learnt that now. But I'm like, why the photos and loudspeaker? Why is it needed? Why do you have to let them all know? Why have we seen multiple penises at once? Like, I don't know. This is the first book I've read in this sort of, well, it's the first book I've read of anything like this, but the whole reverse harem thing where it is a woman and loads of men. And I'm learning the relationship between the men with her, and I'm not quite grasping it. But I will say, as I was looking through the Goodreads reviews, because I thought, hey, why not? I'm vlogging this. I need to kind of understand what everyone thinks about it. And everyone says it's horrible, especially putting a knife in a butt, but we've talked about that. But on pure enjoyment, if this continues how it is, this is getting a 5-star from me, because I rate my books purely on enjoyment, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I'm nearly halfway through now, and literally the only thing getting me through work today is knowing that I can pick this up as soon as I'm done. So, okay, catch up time. It is 3 days after I started this, And sadly but not sadly, I was reading another book yesterday, so I didn't read as much of this as I wanted to. I'm now halfway through, and I actually ended up reading this while on a video call, not a video call, like a voice call with Cole and his two best friends. And I was sharing, his two best friends and one of his friend's brothers. And I was like, guys, listen to what she's doing now. So I have updates. I don't have too much, but a lot of things I want to directly read out because I wish I'd have been vlogging the moment I read them because I was all wetting myself laughing. First of all, Diesel has a tattoo of her now on his heart. So he's got, I don't know why I'm pointing, like he's got one here, it's a viper wrapped around and holding a bird because he calls her little bird, and he basically says he's in love with her, and she's like, okay, you're crazy, that's fine, I'm not gonna say I love you back, and none of the rest of them are gonna, as long as they don't say, she basically says as long as the rest of them don't start saying they love me, then we're all fine here. Obviously that's what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, so when she finds this out, they're all sat around having breakfast. She tells him, and in response she starts heavily kissing him in front of the other three. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a weird situation. It's a fantasy situation. But I would like a comment about how she's going to manage all of their feelings and like being with them, their feelings. They kidnapped her. But how she's going to manage being with them all. Like, she can't just keep doing it with them all in front of the other. Like, how do you give someone a nice good morning kiss? How do you pick which one? I want a comment on that. Oh, she then has sex with Kenzo in a cleaning cupboard at a casino. That's kind of cool. Why not? And then Kenzo says that he's falling in love with her. We do get a little bit more insight into Garrett and why he's so closed off. We haven't got the full details yet, but basically somebody he proposed to then chained him up and started viciously attacking him. But then I have some comments where I've written page 323, cock slap. So let's find out what that was together. This is where I was absolutely wetting myself, I think. Oh yeah, so she's getting closer with Garrett and finds out all this stuff about his past, and basically he doesn't like it when a woman is on top of him because he feels out of control. So she says, why don't I just go ask Diesel for some chains and we can sort this out? So she wants to be chained up so that he can do whatever he wants. So we've got Garrett narrating, and he says, 2 minutes later I hear a yelp and then Diesel laughing. Eyebrow arched, I watched her come back to my room and shut the door, chains in hand and face flushed. I thought I would try and scare him in his sleep like he does to me. It didn't work. I laugh. What did he do? Slapped me with his cock. I gawp and then burst into laughter. She grins but props her hand on her hip. Seriously, Garrett, whose first thought is to slap an intruder with their cock? Then I've written page 329 for JJ. Yeah, she calls her vajayjay, her vajayjay. Like, we have the words vajayjay typed out. Is that even going to focus? Focus on vajayjay. So the exact phrase is, Diesel, my pussy hurts. I complain. And he and Garrett laugh. Assholes, both of you, I snap. Don't even care that you and your big cocks have hurt my little vajayjay. I have no words. Okay. Next page, we have a viper sandwich. She's cuddling up to Garrett, and then Diesel comes up behind her and cuddles in. Viper sandwich. I go to move, but Garrett hooks an arm around my waist, dragging me back to his side and closes his eyes. Diesel snuggles closer behind me, his cock hard against my naked ass. I mutter and wiggle closer to Garrett and away from Diesel, but 2 seconds later he's plastered against my back again like a fucking viper sandwich. I'm fine with it. And then the bit I've just got to, I know it's going to go somewhere that I wasn't ready to read with all of Cole's friends listening, where Garrett is actually a tattoo artist and he is freehand tattooing a viper onto her. I'm fine with tattoos. I have tattoos, not that you can actually see any right now. I feel like I need to prove it. I have tattoos. And even this little one was quite a lot. This is very painful to sit. This was quite a lot of freehand work. So he stenciled on the outlines and then did what he wanted. But I mean, it's some flowers. How simple is that going to be for a tattoo artist? But yeah, I just think the idea of freehanding a viper, impressive. What I know is going to happen next is there are going to be some sexy times, because apparently she gets turned on by the pain of tattooing, which we will get onto when I get more information. But yeah, she's kind of getting off on it. Diesel getting off on watching her, and Gareth's just trying to finish the tattoo. So I see where this is going to go, and I'm going to read it on my lunch break. I'm going to take a lunch break, which I never do, just to tell you about it. Okay, I'm mid-webinar and just decided to read a teeny bit while I was waiting. And that was a poor decision because now I've got to stop reading this and go back to work. She is having sex with Diesel while Gareth tattoos her. As I said, she's getting off on the pain. Okay. Gareth then goes to wash his hands and Diesel cuts away her underwear with a knife, slides her on him, and then just sits like that. So Gareth comes back. And when he sees me, his fists clench, his dark eyes focusing on where Diesel was buried balls deep in my pussy. When we settle down, Gareth begins tattooing, and I try to stay still and quiet to let him concentrate, but Diesel shifts every now and then, a slight move that drags over my interior nerves, mixing with the pain, and I whimper. Like, I am sorry, I had to sit for 4 hours for one of my tattoos. Everything went numb. Everything hurt. You cannot put a penis into that situation. It just wouldn't. The tattoo would be wonky, for one. So yeah, then they just carry on. Don't worry, Dee, I'm nearly done. Then I'll fuck her mouth so she can't insult us anymore. All done, baby. I feel him cleaning it as I open my eyes, and I go to lift my head to look, but he rips off his gloves and throws his needle away as his dark gaze locks on my mouth. Look later. You can thank me now. Mouth open, you fucking tease. I want to see, I start, but then he's there. He unbuckles his jeans swiftly and pulls his big cock free. It's hard and dripping at the tip, and he presses it to my mouth, tapping my lips with it. Oh my god. And I want you to shut the fuck up and suck my dick so Dee can finally fuck you. I spent 2 hours with my head nearly in your pussy, staring at your... I can't even say this. Fucking wet. See you next Tuesday. Not saying it. And imagining my dick in there. Then another 30 minutes of seeing Dee's cock actually inside you and moaning above me. So open up now, he growls, his fingers threading my hair and yanking my head forward thoroughly. So I'm going to pause there because I've got to go back to work. But right now, Diesel is inside her and so is Gareth. So my lunch break is going to be fun. So I just did a whole film my reaction as I read thing, and I've deleted it already. It's the first threesome, and it was very underwhelming, to be honest. It was a lot of just things are happening and the other person's watching. Why am I now saying, I'm this is too vanilla. It's not, but it's just nothing compared to the rest of the stuff that's happened. But she is now looking at her tattoo. It actually sounds like a really nice tattoo. Roses climb down my thigh. If you don't know, I have roses on my hip to thigh. Pretty big tattoo. Roses climb down my thigh with sharp thorns, dripping mandalas and beads, and curving around the stem of a rose is a tiny viper, eyes peeking from the leaves. It's stunning and so lifelike. Its shading makes it look like it's alive. Nice tattoo. They've now just had intense sex, the three of them, and they're like, ever think about being a tattoo artist? And they're all just having a nice... He used to be a professional boxer and he was really good too. He had some titles behind him. Really? I ask, eyes wide. How has the mood changed in a paragraph? They're saying she's got stuff dribbling down her legs, but she's just casually asking about his boxing past. Everything is so intense, and it doesn't need to be I will kill anyone who looks at you wrong. Stay by our sides, but show no fear, baby. This might be the viper's den, but out there, it's a hornet's nest. The sort of over-the-top explanations of everything are starting to get to me now, because I'm okay, chill. There are people that want to kill you, but every time you take her something, you're I'm going to kill everyone who looks at you, and this is our viper's... Everything is about the viper's den. The viper's den, no, that's Diesel's thing downstairs where he brutally murders people. That's the den to me. This whole viper's den, I'm you live in a fancy apartment, get over it. Oh, why is this gone so weird? There we go. They've gone to a strip club that they own. So Roxy is sat with Gareth and Diesel. Just then, a bouncer stops at our table. He takes a look at me and snorts. Get backstage, girl. He turns to my guys. She's ready for you. Follow me. So the bouncer thought that she was one of the strippers. I'm sorry, sir. I thought she was a dancer. I'm really sorry. The man rushes out. A minute ago, he was a big burly fucker who even I would have hesitated to take down. Now he looks like a scared little boy when faced with Gareth. Please, please, I'm so sorry. You insulted her, Gareth grinds out, and he smashes his fist into the guy's face again. I sip my champagne while I watch. He kind of deserved it. Plus, Diesel's still trying to get up, and if he joins in, the guy will die, which wouldn't be good. Then the actual woman they've come to talk to, apparently, she purses her lips like she doesn't know doesn't like what she sees and tosses her hair again. Nice to see you two. Come back to my office. Wow, that bitch just ignored me. How rude. I have realised as well, like I'm trying to edit out some of the language because I'm starting to get uncomfortable with swearing this much, because I don't take swearing as, if I'm reading it off the page, that doesn't count. Diesel leans in closer. Want me to kill her or hold her and you can? Laughing, I push him away, but he wraps his arm around me and follows after her as Garrett trails behind us again, always in protective mode. She reaches out to touch him and I leap up, grabbing it before it can drag down his chest. Tightening my hand around her fingers, I narrow my eyes as she gasps in pain. Do not touch him, I warn, knowing he hates it. And yes, I'm a little bit jealous. He leans in and kisses my cheek. Thank you, baby, he murmurs quietly. We're back to more guys calling her a whore and Diesel getting annoyed. You leave my brother alone. You got a problem? We'll be in booth 3. You can suck us off for that money you want. What did you just say? Diesel growls, his face closing down. He slowly turns to the man. You called my girl a whore? He sheds his jacket, tossing it at me, and pulls back his hair, tying it up at the base of his neck in a bobble. See, another thing where she's gone American and English. His chest glistens under the strobe lights as he prowls around the man, who now looks like he regrets his words. D, I start, but he ignores me. Just to say that, Cole has now grown his hair that he can wear a bobble. Like, not lots, and he's just not that talented at getting it all up, but he can put a hair bobble in his hair, and I'm kind of digging it. So we're liking the long hair vibes. The swagger and the smooth way he walks has me licking my lips. He truly is stunning, dangerous, dark, crazy, and fucking beautiful. He pulls his knife and holds it up for the man to see. You don't think I would hear you insult a girl? Yeah, this guy is dead. It's all false bravado, of course. Anyone can see how dangerous Diesel is. He's a match waiting to be struck, and this guy, he fucking struck it. Oh, fuck you, the guy snarls. You think you're tough because you're here with your whore? The guy laughs again, making me wince. Damn, this is going to be bad. You are nothing, just 2 idiots being led around by your dicks by the same low-rent whore. Diesel is done talking. He strikes with the precision of a man used to killing who knows exactly where to hit. He's unafraid and bold. His knife catches the man across the face and the idiot stumbles back with a pained yowl. His hand comes up to block Diesel's next slice, which gets him in the chest, splitting his shirt and skin and spilling blood. But Diesel is a man possessed. He doesn't torture or tease like normal. He spins and slices, enraged, his face looking in anger, locked in anger and death, his eyes hard. That whore, he spits the word, tried to save you. Remember that when you're in your coffin. Diesel slices his neck from left to right and it splits open like a gaping bloody smile. Stepping over the body, Diesel prowls towards me, not stopping till he's pressed to my front, and he hands me the knife like a present. Want me to cut off his balls for you, little bird? Laughing, I take the knife and lay a kiss on his lips. No, babe, that's fine. Let's go. I'm tired. He grins and pulls away, grabbing his jacket and tossing it over his shoulder. His other arm slides around my waist, taking me from Garrett. Let's go home. The drama, like, I am loving it. Ryder's basically just asked her if she wants to stay. So he said, I know we didn't give you a choice, but now it seems like you're almost happy. I see the way you are with my brothers. I have to know if you're going to try and escape again, or if you're ever going to stay and be happy with them. Oh, we haven't had an answer. She's thrown some flour in his face. How lovely. A desperate clinging kiss, a goodbye, because I know now. I have to let her go, even if she doesn't come back to us. What a great time to read this lunchtime. She's going to tattoo Garrett's arse now. No vagina is worth this, he snarls as he unfastens his jeans and yanks them off, leaving him in little black boxes, his thick thighs covered in tattoos as he desperately hunts for some room. He doesn't find any and stares at me with wide eyes. Grinning, I twirl my finger at him and he grudgingly turns a nice face down. I tug down his boxes and reveal his peachy ass, but then freeze. Are you okay? I ask loudly, remembering. They're now running a prank war. So they first spray paint dicks all over Kenzo's car. And then they buy a brothel in Ryder's name and say that his preferences are a golden shower by men. So then Kenzo buys her a car, turns up, finds out she spray painted his. And he's like, well, it was going to be yours, but I don't think you deserve it. To you, brother. Ryder snorts. I'm still getting emails about slip and slides of urine. I told her to behave, so I say no. Doing a little bit of reading before I go out to my parents. They've decided to let Roxy go. Roxy is free from us, and we're letting her go, and I'm praying to whoever the fuck listens she'll come back, because for once in my life I'm happy. This is Kenzo. I have everything I need, something money can never buy, someone to walk this life with. It just so happens that someone is also for my brothers as well, which makes sense. No one would ever come between us. Ryder just said, I love you with all the broken, bloodstained pieces of me. And now Kenzo is confessing his love 2 lines later. Roxy, I need you to listen for once and keep that pretty mouth of yours shut until I'm done. You're the love of my life, darling. Someone I didn't even know I was searching for all these years. But you're here and I love you more than words, which is why I'm giving you these keys. I know you can never love me the way I love you when you're not free. I'm hoping that even though you can leave, that you're free, and I promise you are. We won't chase you. We won't hunt you. You are truly free. I'm hoping that you will still want to stay with us. Love us, Roxy. I know I'm not asking for something easy or simple. I'm asking for everything, but I can't not. You are our heart, Rox, our living, beating heart. The piece we were missing from our family. You turned our world upside down. We aren't good men, we aren't soft or loving, but we are hard and our hands are stained with blood. They're always hard. But I swear if you stay, you'll never want for anything and no one will ever hurt you again. Well, apart from us. She just ran out the door. Well, I hope she comes... Look how far in we are. I hope she comes back. Wait, no, I know there's like a fivesome. What would be the word? Don't even want to say what I think the word is for that situation, but I know that happens. So come back. We need you. She turned back round, thank God. I'm sure there'll be some sex in a minute, so I'll just let you know after that. We don't need... Unless something weird happens. I'll let you know if something weird happens. Okay, I think this is it. I think all 5 of them are going to do the nasty, so I'm recording. Okay, we're starting off with Kenzo, Garrett and Diesel are all in the room. Okay, Ryder's joined now. I wink up at him. Come into play. Me versus 4 angry, horny vipers. Now giving Ryder a blowjob and says, are you all going to stand there or are you going to get in on the action? Diesel, remind Roxanne who she belongs to. Oh, Roxanne, I'm in trouble. She's now in Kenzo's mouth. Garrett, do you think if Diesel held her head with his cock in her mouth and Kenzo restrained her hands, you could fuck her pussy? Yes, he nods. Okay, I'm not going to update during the scene. You can just see my reactions. We've now got to a point, I will interrupt, where Ryder is actually having sex with her and then she's giving Kenzo a blowjob. But they are actually brothers, like blood brothers. And that's what bothers me more than this whole situation. I'm just not a fan. It got to a point, it said ready for round 2. Diesel, he licked her ass off. Okay, let's just say it. Ready for round 2. And I don't know what this book has made me become, but it's then a fade to black for the next chapter. Roxy turns up for breakfast. No. What was round 2? Need to know what round 2 was. Disappointed. Hello, it is however many days, 4 days, 5 days since I started reading Den of Vipers, and I sat in bed last night and got up to page 501 I've decided what I'm going to do. Because this is a complete spoiler vlog, a lot of what just happened is like actual action and not smut. So I feel like here I'm spoiling the smut. I'm not going to spoil the, and like disgusting stuff. I'm not going to spoil the actual plot. That makes sense. The 99% of the plot is smut. But there's a big like rival mafia kind of situation that I will not ruin. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this tonight, like straight after work. If the weather's still nice, I might sit outside, but that just doesn't seem like a good, I shouldn't read this in public. Anyway, what did I make a note of? Oh, actually, this is graphic. So I started making notes at page 404. So I really read a lot last night. So Diesel is in his torture den downstairs, and Roxy goes to join him, and he's like, what's happening? She said, came to see what you were doing. I miss you. Hold that thought, he mutters, as the man continues to scream. Panting and leaning against the wall, I watch as Diesel turns, grabs a meat pulverizer and smashes it through the man's open mouth. With a turn, and what I can only describe as a ninja kick, he smashes it through his skull. Isn't that lovely? Oh yeah, then what he did with the knife, I mean, the knife went in her ass, but then he uses a gun. She effectively has sex with a gun. There's no bullets in it, but they do keep firing at each other, and it scares me. Let's just do it. He presses it to my mouth and I open up. Dee slips it inside and I lick around the metal before he pulls it free, wet with my saliva. Running it down my chin, he rips open my shirt until I'm bare to him, his hands covered in blood, yet I'm already wet. I crave his brand of madness. I want it all. With him, I'm free. Nothing will ever shock him, scare him. I could never do something that would disgust him or make him fear me. He would love it, revel in it, and worship me. So, 2 points on that. One, saying his brand of madness. His brand of madness is a very, very mad level of madness. But then, I mean, again, not personal experience. I don't even want people to think that I think most of this book is okay. But I do get that nothing will ever disgust him. I kind of get that vibe. Like, I understand that mentality of thinking. Then I've written page 406, gun sex. Okay, here we go. He says, I was going to let you come on my cock, but now you're going to do it on my gun. I gasp, unable to help it. The cool metal feels so strange as he presses it inside me. My pussy slick from my cream and his cum, helping it slide. He fucks me with it in shallow, slow thrusts before giving a few hard ones, keeping me on edge, never knowing which will come. The shape of the barrel makes me groan and my eyes flicker closed. I never, ever, ever want to experience that. I can say that with certainty. So, like I said, I'm not going to spoil the plot. I never expected who is involved to be involved. And I've written down, no, it's a trap. One thing that we get before all the drama is Roxy has phone sex with Ryder. And again, not personal experiences. You can use your own imagination, and it's a question I will never answer. Me and my boyfriend have not seen each other in nearly 15 months now. Thank you, COVID. We live 4,000 miles apart. Even if it's a little flirty message. Sometimes there are messages between me and Cole that I wouldn't want my parents to read, if you catch my drift. So I understood the appeal of the phone sex. I mean, this was a video call where they were both effectively just masturbating and showing each other. But I really liked the scene. I thought it meant something. Why has my brain gone to finding meaning in Den of Vipers? But Ryder is very bossy. I am liking the vibe. Oh no, this was the sentence I wanted to show you, or tell you. Make yourself come, love. Let me watch. Then if you're good, when I get back, I'll spend all night between your thighs, eating your pussy like a starving man. I'm fine. And then she says, are you touching yourself? He groans like a fucking teenager. We're in a bloody parking garage with my guards right outside and I'm fucking my hand wishing it was your see you next Tuesday. I'm going to stick with see you next Tuesday. Yeah, so that was fun. We do have a very brutal torture scene with Roxy being tortured and she's being like cut open with a scalpel. I grind my teeth as he slashes across my face, a light cut but enough that I feel blood drip down my cheek. He starts to slice the knife across the top of my feet and I let out a scream. That doesn't... feet. This was the point I was like, no. He slices across my stomach. I have no time for talking. All I can do for the next however long is breathe and scream. When he moves back, my head hangs as I struggle to hold in my tears. So being the crazy bitch I am, I twist my wrist in the barbed wire, cutting it so the pain pushes back the waterworks. They can have my screams, nothing else. Really brutal torture, actually, at that point. She's waterboarded as well, which I didn't actually know what that meant. I feel like I'm a bit naive. But yeah, I need to go back to work now. I am on my lunch break, don't panic. But I'm on page 501 and this book has 637 pages. So you better bet that this is being finished tonight, and I may have to record some of my reactions because I've heard about some things that happen in this book that haven't happened yet. So we'll see. Okay guys, it is after work on whatever day. I'm gonna finish this. I have about 100 and something pages to go. I've got a root beer, I have a pizza. I'm not moving. Well, I might slightly move, but I am sitting here reading until I'm done. I need to know how this ends. First, we have a new insult I'd like to use. No thanks, would rather stick my dick in a chainsaw. It'd be more fun than your rank. See you next Tuesday. We've got Roxy talking about Diesel, and she says, I get why people are terrified of him, but when I look at him, all I want to do is ride that crazy train. Literally ride him. Like, yeah, we know what you mean, love. Okay, I'm actually really emotional. I've started to care about these characters and whether they live or die. And I'm ready to cry. We've got another Viper sandwich, so Kenzo has squeezed into bed with Garrett and Roxy. Ooh, for the first time ever, we've switched perspective mid-chapter. And we're on page 523. That's an interesting choice. Don't like that. It just looks ugly. Got some shower sex. Always good. Wow. Never mind. Diesel disappears for a whole day, but when he comes back, he vows never to leave my side again. And then he gives me a hand in a box. Honestly, it's romantic as fuck. Turns out it was the Mohawk guy's hand. What a softie. Ryder's on the phone, and it says, it's a woman's voice on the other end, a husky one, that even has me wiggling, not that Ryder seems to notice. No, there is respect on his face for this woman, whoever she is. Jealousy shoots through me, and he must notice, because he drags up my shirt and grips my bare pussy under the table, just holds it, all possessive-like. It's switched perspective again, mid-chapter. You can't change your formatting 520 pages in. I'm not a fan of this. Ryder's got her naked again, obviously. But he says, every time I forget how beautiful you are. I wouldn't take that as a compliment. Like, think of my beautifulness all the time. Obviously just joking. Why does she keep saying cream? We're getting more anal. Diesel told me sometimes I can swear and sometimes I can't. Diesel told me he fucked your ass with a knife. Is that true? I refuse to be ashamed. Yes. Good. Because I'm going to fuck your ass. Be a good girl and I'll make you come more times than you can count. Be a brat and I'll make it hurt. And while you're crying, I'll make you come. Make you love the agony. He just slammed a water bottle inside her vagina. What did you do that for? Oh, and he's still... Oh, God. We've moved to bed. It's just comfier. But they've bought a big safe house with a massive bed in Roxy's room. And Diesel and Ryder are seeing it. I figured you liked that almost as much as the basement. Basement? Basement, he nods. To turn into yours and Roxy's dungeon. Do whatever you want to each other down there, but work stays at the apartment building. Think of all the toys I could fill it with. She's now having a nap with both Kenzo and Garrett. I slip under the quilt and press my front to Garrett's chest. I feel Kenzo press against my back, their legs and arms wrapping around me. If your cock so much as touches me, I'm out, Garrett growls. Got it, no crossing swords. Kenzo teases. Okay, we've got a threesome. A very detailed threesome. She's fucking drenched, brother, he growls as his hand dips into my pussy and parts my lips, stroking me lovingly. so fucking wet. But we are going to need more for you to take my big fat cock, baby. Oh, and she's at this point giving a blowjob to Kenzo, if that wasn't clear. Okay, twice in this page, she has described the top of penises as mushrooms. And I'm not loving that. Not loving that image. No, this is weird now because Kenzo and Garrett are talking to each other. So Kenzo says he's not going to last much longer. And Garrett then says, "You hear that, baby? Is he close?" Like, don't. You're talking to each other through her. Your penises are both in the same woman. Like, what? My brain can't take this. Well, it can, but... So, Kenzo finishes, but Garrett's still going. And Kenzo says, "I love you so much, it's unreal." Yeah, I don't answer that. It's a bit awkward to have a lovey-dovey moment with another man's cock still pounding. I can't even say it. Let me try again. It's a bit awkward to have a lovey-dovey moment with another man's cock still pounding away in your pussy. I'm sure it is. I have just noticed in all of this there has been no mention whatsoever of contraception. I remember thinking that back at like page 200. But there's genuinely none. So I don't know what's happening. I think Diesel is now going to drip hot wax on her. And that's always something I've never understood. So maybe we'll get some insight. No, we've had no insight. Never mind. Still don't get it. We are so close to the end right now. And we're getting another anal scene. They are really pulling it all out with the anal when you get further in. I'm not going to comment. We've heard it all before in this vlog. They just beat up a guy, like tortured a guy, and then had sex on a car in public. You know, this all seems really standard now and that I don't need to update you, but that happened. We've got like 20 pages left. I don't know what more could happen. I did it. I'm done. Oh my God, I had such a fun time. I'm not even joking. This is just an absolute laugh. I know that's probably not what most authors want from their books, but I don't feel like KO Knight would be pretty mad at that. It ended exactly how I expected it would end. There was far too much, but just the perfect amount of smut. It was so messed up. It was perfectly messed up. And I'm going to give it 4 stars. So I'm definitely going to get some hate as soon as that review goes up, but like, I am not fussed. This, for pure enjoyment, is a 5. I have not, for ages, like, can't wait till I finish work so I can read a book. Can't wait till I, like, stay up till silly o'clock reading a book. But this one, I did. And if it's because it was intense smut and there were knives in arses, who cares? I had a great time. I have docked it half a star for being just the most predictable thing in the world, and I've docked it another half a star for the Vipers being based on the originals. Like, you cannot tell me they weren't. The characters match perfectly. Their personalities don't, but like, even Klaus is the only sort of dirty blonde and the rest of the originals have brown hair, and Diesel, who I'm saying is Klaus, had blonde hair and the rest have brown hair. Like, it's the originals, so half a star for that. Be more original. But yeah, I know this vlog is going to be far too long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. But oh my God, if you watched the end of the vlog, please do leave me a snake emoji in the comments. I would absolutely love to know you got this far. If you never ever want to read this and you're glad that I gave you all the smut without needing to bother, then you're welcome. And I will never be posting anything like this on my channel ever again. You will not hear me say the word cock once more, I promise. But on that note, thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.